So as the weather starts to warm up, we all look forward to getting outside, especially with the pets, taking them on walks to the park, simply enjoying the great outdoors together. But what do we do when our pet has a health crisis?
Yeah, if our dog suddenly begins choking on a toy or a bone, maybe they eat something that might be poisonous, we want to be able to react quickly and correctly. Basic first aid for our furry friends is something we all should know.
So to give us a better understanding of what we should know, Dr. Erin Giza with Pets on the Shore Veterinary Hospital, and Denise Ashley, who is a registered veterinary technician. Thank you guys for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Can you introduce your guests?
So yes, we have Randall.
Randall.
And Drake.
And Drake. Okay, I can't wait for this. So why do you feel it's so important to know emergency response to your pet?
Absolutely. So it's going to be really important because you are right there with your pet when something happens. And it is crucial within those first few minutes to institute some life-saving measures.
Yeah.
And hopefully this helps you to kind of feel a little bit more empowered as a pet owner in order to kind of start that process and then hopefully get them immediately to a veterinary hospital. Yes.
Okay, so one thing that always scares me, because my dog just likes to eat everything up off the floor, is choking.
Yes.
How do we know if they're not breathing or they're choking?
Right. So Denise is going to show you here the best way in which to look into the mouth. So she's going to be putting her thumb and forefinger behind the canine teeth.
Okay.
Imagine Drake had teeth.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be also then putting your other hand, the thumb and forefinger, underneath the jaw.
Right.
And behind those canine teeth as well, keeping your fingers out of the mouth, okay? Opening that mouth and looking in there to see if you see anything right away. If you see something in there, you can try to grab, but once again, please be careful. The best thing to do is going to be if you have two people and they're going to be able, one's holding the mouth and one's doing a sweep of the mouth too.
Okay.
You do what you can do there, absolutely.
Yeah.
I never even
Yes.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Well, something else I've never thought about is how can I tell and what do I do if my pet needs CPR? Is it different than?
It's going to be important that you are actually looking and saying, okay, is my pet unresponsive? But in addition to unresponsive, do we have a heartbeat or are we breathing? Those are the two big things that you need to assess. Denise is going to be showing you exactly where to be feeling for a heartbeat. She's putting that elbow, extending that elbow up to the side of the chest. That's exactly where the heart is located. So that may give you a better idea of where you need to be putting your hand in order to feel. The other thing she'll be doing is checking for the femoral pulse, which is located directly where the back leg meets the body wall too.
Okay.
Do you want to put them right there maybe, and that'll make it a little bit easier. And what we'll do is she is going on a small dog or cat doing what we call circumferential CPR. So a thumb and a hand around, and she is going down a half to a third of the way in terms of compression, okay? And you're going to be doing 30 to 2. So 30 compressions and then 2 breaths. If you have 2 people to be able to do this, that's going to be ideal, of course, because you will fatigue quickly. Your adrenaline's pumping, you're worried, and you're, having to do some pretty good compressions here.
So is hands-only CPR? In other words, making sure the compressions, setting aside the breaths, and just make sure. Is that okay?
30 to 2 though. So you're going to be doing 30 compressions and then 2 breaths at the end of 30 compressions. Absolutely. And so on a small dog or cat, you would be then closing the mouth and the nose, and probably on a small one you would be able to actually put your entire mouth over the nose and mouth too. If that is not possible, you will close the mouth, put the lips over that so that you're really helping to close that mouth, and you're going to breathe into the nose. The one thing that is a little bit different and where it varies is you will have the barrel-chested dogs, such as the bulldogs. Example of that is a large breed American bulldog or just English bulldogs. That has to be done more like a person. You would lay them on their back, you would come up, and once again, compressions as you would with a person, third of the way down to a half, just like that. And this is one that you're going to be bringing those lips over and breathing directly into their nose for those 2. So 30 to 2, 30 to 2 is the way to remember that.
Regardless of the size of the dog.
That is correct.
Always 30 to 2.
Yes.
All right, so real quickly, poisoning. Our dog or cat has eaten something poisonous. Is there something we can do at home to help them?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of things. I always tell people, first and foremost, call either the ASPCA Pet Poison Control Hotline or there is the pet poison
hotline.
Pet poison hotline. One is the ASPCA, one is the pet poison hotline.
Okay.
And there are the two numbers. Each one does require you to pay a fee when you call in, but that may actually help you to stay out of a veterinary hospital too, where you don't have to go, because they may say, hey, you don't need to worry about this. The amount that they ingested is not a big deal, you know, too. It's really important that within the first hour, if they have ingested something toxic, getting them to the vet in order for us to dose something called apomorphine in order to get them to vomit.
Right.
If you are in a bind, there is talk of hydrogen peroxide, you know, a teaspoon or a tablespoon depending on the size of the dog. But that does come with some issues because you can actually make for ulceration of the intestines and of the stomach if you are dosing it too high.
Right.
And we are going to have the numbers of those poison centers on our website, delmarvalife.com. Click on what's happening today. This was eye-opening.
Eye-opening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Giza and Denise from Pets on the Shore Veterinary Hospital.
Thank you so much for having us.
Wow.